Welcome back to Red Flags Anonymous. I'm Ivy, your Delulu queen.
And I'm Kris, your serial optimist. We switch roles.
Yes, we had to because I come to find out I am a little delusional. So yes, but welcome back. This is episode 3, and this episode is about something that I feel like probably if it's not you, someone that you know is in right now, and that is a situationship. So let's just get it started. What do you define of a situationship?
Some bullshit.
That's true. That's
either
true.
either we together or we not together.
Yeah.
No, but a situationship essentially, like my definition is when you are doing relationship things with someone,
hmm
but there's no definition of the relationship. It's untitled, it's undefined.
So it's more so all of the is it the perks of the relationship, but with no work of the relationship? Is that how you would kind of define
No
it?
commitment, less accountability,
Mm-hmm.
because there's no defined structure.
Mm-hmm. I get that.
Yeah.
And I think with me, I'm gonna definitely agree with that. In my opinion, a situationship is literally like we're together but we're not together, like we're together but we don't have a title, like you can do this maybe but I kind of better not catch you doing this because even though we're not together we're together, it's one of those. And so
Right.
it can get a little tricky, and honestly I feel like I had this conversation just earlier. I'm most definitely in a situationship, and I don't know, sometimes it can be good. Sometimes it can be really bad. I don't know.
It's
Oh, it's a lot sometimes.
It can be because, I mean, to a certain extent, you are allowed a certain level of freedom
Yeah.
because there is no title. So it's like if you're talking to someone else or if you meet someone else, it's not like you can't
Yeah.
engage, right?
Yes.
But the lines get a little blurred because, like you said, if they were to do the same thing to you, you'd be
hmm
like, wait, hold on.
Like, I don't think so.
Right.
And that's what I'm learning about myself. So before we started, the mister who I'm in this situationship with, I asked him, like, how do you define it? And he kind of said the same things already on what we said. And then that's when I'm like, well, do you think that I'm a good person for a situationship? And he told me flat out, hell no. He was like, because I'm a lover girl.
So why put me in one?
Exactly. Why put me in one if you know that I'm not that kind of girl?
I know
Not.
we're early, but
He's a huge red
right.
flag. Like that's what I should have him saved under in my phone.
Literally, just change
It's
it now.
just change it to red flag because that's all it is. But it really made me think. Like I feel like we're so quick to say that kind of we're okay with things because you do kind of want to go with the flow. Sometimes you don't want to rush things because with me, I really am not rushing a relationship. And I spoke about this before. I don't just necessarily care for a traditional relationship. Whatever that means along the way, that's what we'll find out. But I do still know that I want my person, and I want my person to only, I'm not going to say only want me, but it has to be that same type of, I feel like caring and, thoughtfulness. Like if all of that is not there, then it just definitely is not going to work for me because I realize I really do have standards. Like, I think people really just say, oh, this, and this. No, when you really have went through something, your boundaries and your standards, they start to get higher. And as much as I want to go along with the flow to kind of stick it out to see where this situationship will take me, it's also kind of like, we're on the time limit, because I really am a lover girl and I cannot sit back and like compose all of that lover girlness that's inside of me. I can't sit back and compose it. And so that's why when he brought it to my attention, I'm like, you're probably right. And honestly, I have never been a situationship girl. I've always been like a relationship girly. I'm the type that once I'm with someone, I'm gone for years, So like the whole dating aspect and the we're together, we're not together. Yeah, I'm really starting to see it's not for me. It's not.
I think a key like distinction is because it to me like there's a difference between like you're dating and it's a situationship.
That's true.
Because, you know, the process of dating, you inherently are going to do some relationship stuff.
That is true.
You're going to go out in public together. You're going to plan dates, plan trips, do, you know, whatever that looks like for you and your significant other. There's an aspect of it where it's like you will inherently do those things before you define the relationship or title it.
That's true.
But I think the distinction is the goal, the intention, right? And that those intentions are also clearly communicated. Like, I'm dating you because I want to evaluate whether or not we're compatible for a long-term commitment. You know what I mean? Versus like, I'm just going with the flow and I'm okay with not having a destination.
Yeah.
I'm okay with not having, and it's a thin line.
It is.
But I feel like that's like, for me in my mind, when I feel like I have found myself in a situationship versus like, oh, I'm just dating, get to know this person. Cause I'm like you, I don't like to rush.
Yeah.
And I don't like men who like to rush.
Exactly.
Because like all that like dating advice about like, oh, if he doesn't want to make you his girlfriend in 3 months, sir.
Yeah.
I don't know you in 3 months.
I haven't got to see the best or the worst part of you yet, honestly. Yes. So yeah, no, I don't agree with that either.
So, you know, it's one of those things where I feel like communication is really what helps distinguish one versus the other. But in my mind, that is how I see it. And when I've been in a situationship, it has been a clear, I want to say maybe like avoidance of like, there is a destination, there is a goal, you know? So like you, I can only sit in like ambiguity for so long before I start asking questions.
Too many questions.
You know,
that's my problem.
It's not a problem.
You're absolutely right.
It's not
a problem to a person who don't mind answering those questions.
You know, I'm not giving you the third degree because I feel like it. I would like to clarify.
I need clarity.
A lot of times too, you know what I mean? It's not even just so much because I don't know what they're gonna say. I want them to know that they said it out loud.
Exactly.
You
say
know?
It out loud.
Right.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that. So I feel like this, because it is such a thin line. So dating is more intentional. Like you have this plan. If we're going to see if we have the same end goal on a relationship. Situationships, I feel like kind of just happen. I don't kind of think that it's something that I don't really think anyone sets out to be in a situationship, but the feelings are there, and maybe both of you don't want to rush into things. Maybe the other person has someone else in their life. It can always be a reason why there is a situationship. And the thing with me is, like you say, it's like I need to know, what is our destination? Like, what is our end goal? Is the end goal to where we just are going to stay friends or just flirting and hanging out? Or is the end goal that we really want to try something, whether it's a serious relationship, it's a non-traditional, traditional, whatever it may be, marriage, whatever. I would like to be clear on that. And I feel like if we can't discuss that, then that's how you know the difference also between if we're dating with intention or are we just messing around.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And I feel like after a certain age, you're like, I don't have time for that.
Exactly.
When I have, in the past, when I have found myself in a situationship, my frustration was that I was like, you can be very clear upfront about what you want.
True.
You just want to smash? We can do that.
Because I might be down.
You know what I mean? You never know.
Never know till you ask.
Maybe I had too much going on in my life where I couldn't dedicate the time and energy that I would normally want to dedicate to a true relationship. That's right. True. What, you know, and at the end of the day, everyone likes companionship. So even if we kind of are like, okay, this is primarily physical and companionship, I feel like then, you know, you don't get put yourself in a situation where you're like, oh, your feelings, I mean, you can't help feelings to a certain extent, but I feel like you also don't create environments for those feelings to grow.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And that's what I think the situationship is. That environment for those feelings are growing because you guys are starting to do, I feel like, relationship stuff. Like I can speak for me. In my situationship, we go out in public. He's met some of my family members. You know, it's almost like doing relationship things, but it's just not that full title. And it's not that we don't consider. I'm always like, oh, my man, you know, like it's not that we don't consider it, but there are just things that are, I feel like, really keeping us from fully going to that next level. And then it's also, this is a learning experience for me because I'm in the state where if I don't want it to work out, I can go on to the next person, you know, like, and that is kind of, I feel like the benefit. I'm not really tied down. I'm not held down. And I don't think that men sometimes realize that as well. Like sometimes we love to also have that freedom, you know, to say, we don't have any ties. I don't have any children with this man. It's really nothing for me to cut it off and move on to the next person. And so that's something that I have been speaking about lately, which is why the person is like, you know, I don't think that you're for situationships. And because I am at that stage now where I'm asking more questions, like, you know, like, what do you think is going to happen? How are you feeling? And we have really great talks, but I still just kind of feel like I don't have that certain answer. And I'm not going to say I don't have that answer. It's just not the answer I want right now. Like, it's not that, oh, we're not going to be together. We just have to have time to figure out X, Y, Z. And I'm such an impatient person. It's like, I don't have time to figure out X, Y, and Z. Like, I'm just a girl. I want it now. I'm a brat, and he hates that. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's like, how much patience do you really have? How long would you wait it out in a situationship?
Yeah, I feel like that's why in the beginning I said it's that bullshit. Because if we get to a certain, if you start meeting my friends and family, I don't care what you say. You are not my boyfriend.
You're my man. Like, we're married, just so you know.
Right. Like,
exactly. We're together.
No, literally, because what are we talking about
what
right
are we
now?
talking about now? Yes.
You know, but I think to your point, that look, so like you guys are having these talks about where your values align, right? You're talking about how much patience can you have and things like that. So to me, it's like, and I feel like this is where it's like, oh my God, the definition gets so blurry sometimes. But I'm like, it sounds like you're dating because you're evaluating, do we have the same capacity for, you know, like actual like commitment? Do we have the same kind of like vision of what a relationship looks like and how it develops? So it's just like, at the end of the day, I almost kind of want to say like situationships are made up, bro. Like
they really are.
We are dating or we are not dating. You know,
like it's another one of those words that we just talked about last time. Like, you know, with the gaslighting and the love bombing. This is another made up word and it just sounds good. But honestly, we're dating. We're semi in a relationship. Like I said, we have 1 foot in marriage, 1 foot out. That's how I look at it.
That's
and once again, that's why now I'm the Delulu queen because I live in that fairy tale land, and I love to say it. I would tell him, I'm like, you know, right now I'm in Never Land, you know, just existing. And honestly, he loves it. Like he can say what he wants to. He's still here, so he absolutely loves it. But it's just, I do know that once I love, and that's why I actually love how we can. I mean, we tell each other we love each other all the time. I mean, quiet is kept. I have.
Oh, I don't do that. If we're not together, like clearly defined, I could post you on my Instagram type shit. I ain't telling you shit. Whether I feel it or
not. See, we're already at that level. We've been there for a while.
Ma'am.
So I know I need to put it up for myself. Because what am I doing? I don't even want to tell y'all what else. I really am Delulu. I mean, so how about this? How do you feel about tattoos?
I love tattoos. I mean,
what about tattooing a man's name on you?
So my like relationship in college, I guess, like at that time I thought this was the person I was gonna spend my life with in whatever capacity, right? And I thought the best way to do it was to just put his initials, because his initial was also my initial. So if it didn't work out, I'm gonna be like, hey, what you mean? I didn't put no man's name on. Exactly. So even I was kind of in 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like, I don't know if this is a good idea. But I feel like if I was married and we decided, maybe not names, but maybe something symbolic, I think that would be cute.
One thing about me, I don't mind tattooing the man's name. Oh my gosh, it's who's well, this is my kid. Okay, it's getting covered up. Immediately. Let's start there.
Right.
But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm one of that's why when
Sorry,
girls
y'all
be
talked about
saying,
that?
what if I already did it?
Girl, I'm about to get up. I'm about to get up. Podcast over.
The podcast is over with. Like, oh my, I said, what if? Never said if I did, but what if I did? Like, I'm not gonna lie though. I am one of those people, and I'm an ego stroker. I'm not gonna lie. Yes, I am. Like that, I think that comes a part of my horoscope. Because I do love to speak about that, and I think it comes from my like country upbringing. In the country, women there, I noticed they definitely treat their men much different than what I noticed, when I first got, not even when I first got here, even here now. Like there were just certain just manners and just certain things that I noticed that the southern women, they definitely they just treat their men a little different. And one thing I always noticed is like, my aunts, my grandma, like they didn't mind stroking their man ego, because the more you stroke that ego, it seems like the bigger the check is that comes in the house, the bigger the house you're going to get built. Like when you making your man feel like an absolute man, it's really, I feel like, no limit on what they will do, because honestly that's what most men want. They are ego driven. So when they have someone that is literally stroking their ego, I feel like it gives them this rush. And I actually had this conversation with my guy. Like he's and I hate that. I mean, we both have a big ego though. And that's why I think it works, because we both kind of get it. Like, so with me, the tattoos is, I do think it's like
a validation.
It's a validation. And because I do feel like, men do love to look somewhere and say, oh my gosh, she really has, that's my name on her body. Like, yeah, nobody else's name is on her, even though there has been somebody else, but it's null and void. That's how we're gonna look at it. So, yeah, with me, yeah, I'll tattoo a name 5 times of my man if I'm feeling it. You want it on my wrist, arm, forehead, neck, where you want it at, baby, where you want to see it at, I have no problem. So.
I mean, I don't necessarily have an issue with that. I don't think that there's anything wrong with stroking your partner's ego and making them feel like they're the most important thing to you, because I feel like that's how it should be. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But I think my thing is that when does that come into the picture? Because I am very sweet to my significant others, people I'm dating, and it's not an act. Like it's just my nature, right? Yeah. But it's like there is also a threshold for it, right? Because I feel like at a certain point, it's like, okay, am I gonna get some of that sweetness back? See, you know what I mean?
And luckily you have that threshold. I feel like with me, that's what I
there's no threshold.
There's no threshold. That's that damn delusional. It's kicking in. There's no threshold. And that's why, honestly, like I'm so sweet. Like, and I tell people, keep me while I'm sweet. Keep me while I'm in that delusional phase, because once I come out of that sweet phase, then you never get that part of me back. And I feel like that's the best part of me. That raw, just, I love you so much. I'm so sweet. I'm willing to do whatever. But like you said, when I see that it's not maybe being reciprocated, like definitely as fast as I wanted to, then that I do know how to, pull it back. But my thing is, and this is what my guy, he actually broke it down perfect. I told him, I said, I'm the type that I start people at 100 and they deduct themselves. He was like, see, you're doing it all wrong. He was like, you're not supposed to be having nobody starting at 100. And I'm like, well, why? And he was like, because you're giving people too much credit too soon. Yeah. That's what he said, you're going too soon. And I'm like, well, to me, that's just the sweet person that I am. I don't want to meet someone and I automatically think like, oh, I gotta watch them, I gotta do this. I feel like I'm already a pretty good judge of overall character. Now, of course, I don't know what you may do along the line, but overall, I'm pretty good at reading who's a good person, who's maybe not so much of a good person. So to me, if I like you, I'm gonna hold you up here. Like you're not gonna come to me and I'm only giving you 20%. If you're coming around and I like you and I'm letting you into my space, you're up here at 100. And the only thing you can do to break that 100 down is to start doing things, whether it's lying, betraying me, whatever it is, you're the one deducting that. And that's because I'm more of the glasses half full type person. And some people are the glasses half empty type of person. And that's the difference between me and my partner. He is more of the glasses half empty. With me, I don't see it that way. So yeah, I feel like I have to definitely I mean, I'm not gonna, and that's the thing about me. I'm always open to hearing other people because I love to hear people's perspective because maybe sometimes I am looking at something from more of a naive, gullible, sweet part of me because the world is not just a sweet place. As much as I would love for it to be, everyone's not sweet. So he did help me to realize that it's okay to still have people that I look at, and I'm going to give you that benefit of the doubt. But maybe I should stop when I'm meeting people, like automatically putting them up so high. Like he told me, let them earn it, let them work for it. And that is something that I think I do, need to start to take heed to is, not necessarily working for it, but like, proving that you really do deserve for me to treat you with this high standard how I do. So it was a good conversation that we had.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And I want to say I can relate to that because, I feel like I have heard that advice as well, that you have to let people earn their place in your
Yes.
life. And I think that's something you and I have in common is that we're both optimists and we both kind of look for the good in the situation before we look at the reality of it.
Yes.
And I think that's sometimes where it can kind of get you in trouble. But I do feel like I would prefer to live my life that way than be a cynic.
Me too.
It's hard for me. I get why it makes sense because it's like that's how you protect yourself and you guard your heart. But at the same time, I do feel like if I have to approach you with suspicion or I know it's not like it's that's like the other extreme, right?
Yeah.
I know it's not you approaching with suspicion. But if I have to approach you with this idea of like, oh, you're gonna have to earn this sweetness and work for it, I'm like, well, then it's not really just me being myself.
That's how I feel too. I'm not being myself. And so that's something I feel like that's one thing about myself that I love. Even if I hear other people's opinion and I'll go home, I'll think on it. But if it still doesn't align with how I actually feel on the inside, it's like thanks, but no thanks. Like I appreciate, I'm not doing it because then I'm not being me. And I feel like if I'm not me, that means that I'm being someone else that I wasn't truly like designed to be. And I never want to be that. I feel like even if I have to take 20 falls to the face in this dating world, I'm willing to do that because I still feel like it's still gonna be my person is out there for me.
Be authentic.
Exactly. And if you're not authentic, I feel like what are you doing anyway? And that's something that I cannot stand. I don't like people that are not authentic. Like don't pretend to be a certain way with me just like to get me. This is kind of what we spoke about with the love bombing and stuff. Like don't pretend to be one way. You introduce me to a vibe and then all of a sudden the vibe is changing. Like I don't like that because to me that means you weren't being authentic. And I just don't want fake people around me in any aspect. I don't want someone that's not going to be themselves because you might start rubbing off on me and then you might start making me question myself, like, and now I'm not being my authentic self because you're never your authentic self. So I'm trying to meet you and match your energy. I don't want to match energy. I'm the type of person, if I have to match your energy and it's negative, I'd rather just not have you around me. I can't match a negative energy. I just can't do it. So
what would you say are the red flags of situationships? Kind of talking about like people not being authentic. Like, would you say that that's one of them? Is because they're not truly showing up as themselves. They're not being honest about their intention.
I definitely think that. And I feel like even before we even get into maybe talking about the red flags, how do you think people even start or get into a situationship? What do you think is maybe the top two reasons that people get into situationships?
Lack of boundaries and just timing of life. I think it's like that's like the combination there.
I definitely can agree. And I also, because I mean that I feel like it's so much can fall under those categories. Definitely with the timing. Like this is something that I just like said, like because it has been days where I'm just kind of like telling him, like, I can't do this anymore. Like, this is not pleasing. Like it pleases me in certain ways, but overall I want more. So it's like the timing, and it's just because I know right now we just can't fully do everything what we want to do and how we want it to be, because I know he wants to be with me the same way I want to be with him, but we do have other things that are playing a huge part right now into why we can't fully commit with each other. And I told him the timing. You know, we would probably be already married if we would have met maybe years ago. That's my husband. Like, that's just how I feel about it. We would have already been married, probably had us 2, 3 children. That's how strongly I feel, and he agrees. But the timing is what has us right now in this situationship, and I hate that, because don't you hate when you feel like you really met the right person, but it was literally the wrong time for whatever reason that it was, and it's like you kind of always feel like too, like, don't you wish you could change time a little bit? You could alter it to make it work, but then it's also, you have to realize it's a reason why the timing is off right now, and it's just you have to wait to see why the timing is off. And with me, I'm impatient. I already said that I'm impatient as hell. I don't have time to keep seeing anymore, and that's starting to be the problem. Like, I agreed at first to say, well, let's start here. My situationship was not by choice; it was by force. So let's start there. I was bamboozled. I don't care what he says. I was bamboozled at first, and then it's like, okay, once I found out everything, it was kind of like, well, I'm in it already, so let's go with the flow. We're gonna see how this goes, because I'm not willing. It wasn't a deal breaker to me. Like, you know how I feel about it behind the scenes. Like, I feel a certain type of way, but it wasn't a deal breaker, but we said, okay, we gotta have a time limit on this. What are we gonna do? And it's kind of like, now I'm out of that time limit, because it's like, this is somebody I really care about. So it's kind of like, oh, do I give another 60 to 90 days? Like, what do I do? Because next thing you know, 90 days is gonna be a year, and I'm still in the situationship. So it's like, at what point do I start to make demands in a situationship? Like, or do you make demands in a situationship? Are you allowed to make demands in a situationship?
I don't like the word demand because it sounds negative.
It does.
Like, you're gonna give this to me. I don't care if you want to give it to me or not. You're just gonna get, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would more so term it as like, kind of like I said, the other side of it.
It's the other side of me.
Having those boundaries. There is a threshold for where you say, my needs are not being met. I have given you an opportunity to meet them. I have given you an opportunity to meet me where I'm at emotionally. And, there's nothing that says that, like, oh, we have to get married tomorrow or anything like that. But if you continue to kind of navigate in a way where you're, like I said, I mean, part of being in a relationship is that commitment. It comes with accountability. Exactly. And if you are directly avoiding that, then it's like, that's where you say, okay, maybe they're not a bad person, or they're not doing it on purpose, but for whatever reason, their capacity is just not, they don't have it, right?
They're not at the capacity to love you how you need to be loved.
Exactly. Yeah. So then you say, you know what? This is where I kind of set that boundary. I now have to remove myself from the situation.
Isn't it hard?
Of course it's hard.
Oh, it's so hard.
It's very hard. Like, I was in a long distance situation. You want to talk about Delulu? We're not even in the same city.
Oh gosh.
How the hell? Yeah. You get into a long distance situation.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because it's not like you could say, like, if you were close, you guys lived in the same city, you would say that the level of access is because of proximity, and like, you guys can be more intimate because you're closer. Close. You can do stuff together, right? This was literally happening via phone. Getting in my feelings over the goddamn phone. How? Ask me how I even managed to get there.
Yes. See, how do you even start something like that?
I mean, it's not, it's not the intention, right?
It's not. It just happens.
It just happened. I want to say that I was coming out of a relationship. This person was also coming out of, a marriage, right? So that's pretty significant. And at the time, I remember thinking, like, we enjoy talking to each other. They don't have to be nothing, you know what I mean? And let it be that. But feelings start to grow, and then the relationship things, which, okay, stupid, right? It's long distance. But once this man would call me every morning, 7:00 on the dot, talk to me on my way to work. We texting throughout the day. 5 o'clock in the evening, he's calling me again as I commute home. So I'm like, to me, those kind of things, like the consistency, you're making yourself a part of
Listen,
my routine.
you're making yourself a part of my routine and my life. I just had this combo.
And you're speaking love over me, you're speaking life into me. That was at a time where I was still trying to navigate certain aspects of my career, and this person was like my number one cheerleader.
Oh, I love
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like you have now established yourself as someone of importance to me. I'm talking about you to my friends, to my family, all that
gushing
stuff.
about you.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And then and then when I'm finally like, so what are we doing?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
What are we doing? Oh, I care about you, blah, blah, blah.
It's not even time yet for it. That would have been already the first thing.
Look, when I hear those words, I feel immediately like I'm like, just stop talking.
Just shut up. Like, please, talking. I don't even want to hear it. And I'm so good for that too. Like, I don't even want to hear the rest of it. Just save it. Look, I've seen this pony show before, and this I've seen it before, but just stop. Just stop. Yeah. No,
and then on top of that, come to find out, and it was like the stupidest way to find out too, right? We were on the phone, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta go," and I guess he didn't realize he didn't hang up the phone, and he answered a FaceTime on his laptop or his iPad or something, and this woman's voice comes through. "Oh, hello, handsome."
Oh, wow. Yeah. See,
tell you.
Yeah.
I was so mad. Yeah. Because I was like, we're not in a relationship. I get that.
Yeah.
And I am not holding that against you. But it's one of those things where I'm like, you didn't even have to lie.
And that's my biggest thing.
You didn't have to lie.
And I'm so big. And that's how I said with me and my guy, how we started dating. Just straight up lies, y'all. I love the man, but he was literally at the beginning. It was just lie after lie after lie. And I'm like, why? Why did you feel the need to lie? But like he said, like, I really liked you. Like, and I felt like you weren't going to agree with certain things. And so it sucks. Like, yeah, I mean, thank you for telling the truth about lying. I mean, if that makes any sense. Thank you for telling the truth, for coming clean. And I get it. I mean, and that's me with my ego. Like, it's like, okay, I get it. You didn't want to lose me. Who would want to lose me? So of course you're gonna go through your little song and dance to try to get me, but it's like, to what extent,
Yeah.
And to this man's extent, it was a little bit much at first. It definitely was a little much, but I feel like it also just helped me to realize that, people sometimes are in weird, like a weird part of their transition. Like it's a weird transition. Yeah. And I have to understand that because it was a time I was going through a very weird transition.
You know something? When I'm in a transition period in my life, I do not seek people and engage with them in a way that I know that is not sustainable or that I know that I cannot commit to. Yeah. And I think sometimes that is part of my frustration with situationships and why, again, it's some bullshit.
Yes.
Because I'm like, there's a threshold. We are together now.
Yes, okay? Exactly.
I don't care what you... So, and the thing about it too is that at the end of the day, if you get your heart broken, whether you are in a relationship or a situationship or whatever, those feelings still hurt.
They still hurt. It's the same heartbreak. It doesn't matter. It still
hurts. Your brain does not know the difference. Your brain just knows loss in that moment, right?
It's grief.
Yeah, exactly.
And I had to really learn that because you know how it was with the YN, baby. I went through it. Once again, this is how we started this podcast. I went through it, and you don't really realize it. It's like, damn, grief kind of hurts a little bit, especially when you're grieving someone that's not dead. And that's why I agree. The heartbreak doesn't know a title. It doesn't know if this was dating, situationship, relationship. It just knows that what you were feeling right now, it's hurting and it's missing that piece. And so that's why I'm so particular about, I feel like after this, like, I don't know, kind of, at first I was so headstrong on like, I'm definitely just dating right now. It's like after this, I don't even kind of know how much I want to date after this, like if this doesn't work out, because I feel like this is almost like me being in another relationship right now. Because guess what? He doesn't want me dating other men. He doesn't want me going out with, he doesn't want me doing all of that, so it's kind of like, once again, we're having all of the things of a relationship, but it's like there is no real relationship. Like, yes, in our minds, like, oh, like I said, I better not catch you with nobody else. He better not catch me with nobody else. Like, that's kind of how it is. Which, I mean, that's a relationship, because it's like, well, if we're not in a relationship, why can't I be out with other men? You know.
I was just about to say, you see me over here kind of going, well.
And I'm not gonna lie, you know, he knows that I went on a little date, but he knows also that I didn't even like the guy. It was kind of like just to kind of piss him off, and just to kind of go. Like, that's really what it was. He knew already that I didn't. You know, that's like,
I'd be so petty.
I am. Maybe I should be the petty queen. But you know, I feel like, because I need to tell myself too. And what's funny is, I was texting my friend, and I'm like, the whole time I'm sitting here with this guy, even though he's a great guy, nice, has all of his stuff together, no lies, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
He just wasn't him. Like, you get what I'm saying? He wasn't my mister. Like, the whole time we're sitting there, I'm like, this is how me and you are supposed to be. Even though we go out and do stuff, but it just felt like in that moment, like, I shouldn't even need to be here with another guy, even possibly thinking about, you know, having someone else come into my life. Like, it kind of hit me. Like, so it's like I couldn't even get into the date like that, because all I kept thinking about is, like, yeah, this is not who I want to talk to. Like, this is not who I want to be with. Like, he's nice, he's cool, but like they say, it's just certain people you really have that connection with. And me and my guy, I can't lie, since day one, that's been our connection. He told me since he met me, oh, you're gonna be my wife one day. Like, this was literally day one of us really talking. Like, when I said people falling in love in 3 days, this was me and him. We was in love, I think, in 48 hours or less, baby. I mean,
love bombing.
He's a love bomber for sure. He dropped them bombs of love. That's 100% sure. And I love it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I love it, because it's like he also has taught me so many things. Like, he has taught me a lot about myself, a lot about, like, we talked about those boundaries and those standards, you know, like, he'll tell you, like, I'm selfish. I know I'm selfish. I know I'm this. Like, that's why I say I love the fact that we can have those conversations, and he's letting me know, I know this is a flaw of mine, but I also just know I can't let you go. Like, I can't let you go. And it's like, it's flattering, but it's also like I told him, though,
you think it's a little toxic?
It's definitely a lot toxic. That's 100% fact. Our middle name must be toxic, because woo, it's really a lot. But you know, and I think that's also what makes it a little fun. So I feel like now we'll move into our next segment. Okay, so now with this next segment, we're going to get into the actual red flags of, you know, situationships. So the first red flag that I definitely noticed was when we first started talking. It was, at first, you could tell maybe, like, because it was around the holidays. So I kind of feel like whatever he had going on, he just had like a little bit more freedom, because it was like we hit it off great. Then it was like all of a sudden it was kind of like back into like work and everything. I started noticing like he could only talk during kind of certain times. It's like, oh, you know, hey, I'm gonna call you right back. I'm gonna run in the house and take a shower, or, you know, I'm gonna do this. And I mean, he would call right back, but it started making me wonder, like, why the hell you can't ever talk to me because I can talk to you in the house when I'm doing anything. Mm-hmm. And it started to like kind of bother me.
You got like zones.
Yes, it's like you can't talk to me, you know, like during this time. And so that's when my little spidey senses started going off. And I'm just like, you know, something is not right. And so one day when he came to pick me up, you know, his phone rung, and he was just like, oh, give me a second. But it was like, you kind of know those, like, be quiet for a minute. You know, I think all of us have been there at one point where, you know, don't say anything right now. And it was just kind of like, but from what I got from it, from what I got from it, it wasn't much for me to like really be threatened over, but it also kind of said, so this man does have someone. It doesn't necessarily have to be a girlfriend, wife, whatever she is, it's someone to you. And that was already making me feel some type of way. And so that's when I'm like, you know, you might as well just come clean now. You know, it's no more skating around anything. And that's kind of when I found out, you know, like, there is a situation there. You know, like, it's definitely not a marriage. I don't want anyone to think it's not that type of party. But there is someone, you know, that you still feel tied to because of circumstances. And I can get that. You get what I'm saying? I definitely can get that. But to me, that was the first red flag. Like I said, like the couldn't talk to me all of a sudden during, unless you're outside of the house, or hey, I'm running to the gas station, or hey, I was just calling you on my way here to do this. It's like, why in the hell are you never talking to me when you're just relaxed in bed? How I'm relaxed in bed? Like, what's going on there? And I felt like also the next thing to me, which was another red flag, was I'm so big on, if you have something at home, why are you outside looking for something else? Because it's either A, you get rid of what you have at home, or either B, you work out with what you have at home. But like you spoke on it, if you're transitioning from something, you're not really looking for something. You're literally in this transition phase. And you honestly, me, I don't have the capacity. Like if I'm literally getting out of a relationship, getting out of whatever it is very hard. But then again, on my other little shoulder, sometimes the best way to get over somebody is to absolutely positively get up under somebody else. And that was how I really met him. He kind of like, I was so still distraught. I felt like I was so helpless when this little YN just broke my poor little heart. And then here comes this knight in shining armor, like waving this big ass red flag. And because I was I didn't even see it, but he helped me to get over. Like those feelings are instantly gone for that YN. Once I started talking to him, it was like, who, YN, who, what? I would never date another one. It was like, what was this? What I've been missing? So I ignored that red flag because, for one, he was coming in to help me get over something. So that's why I say it's like I play both parts. I get it with the transition. Sometimes it is best to handle it so it's not messy. But sometimes it just doesn't work out that way, and you do need someone's help to help you kind of get out of that transition phase to either A, I feel like help them realize I do want to make this work with the person I have at home, or B, this person is showing me that, yeah, this isn't what I want at home and this is what I want. And I feel like it made me feel like, okay, I'm not going to lie, it made me feel a little good once we actually had this talk. Like, this is what you want. You don't want me to live out your life. And so I'm here. But it's also like I'm not the type of person that's going to prove, or I don't even, I try not to speak bad about someone else, but I feel like if you say that you want me here and you're in this transition phase, you have to really show me that you're transitioning. It can't be to where it's the same thing going on now for months, because where's the transition coming in at?
Mm-hmm.
So
I do feel like that kind of leads into like the next red flag, right? And what we were talking about, the difference between like dating and a situationship is the intention. And maybe not even necessarily the intention, but the clarity. Because I do feel like it is okay to say, I don't know where my head is at right now in this exact moment. It is not okay to keep saying that
exactly
for
exactly
an indefinite amount of time, right? Because I think there's a lot of reasons why we may fear wanting to commit to something too quickly, or wanting to put a title on something, because maybe you're still feeling some things out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in the spirit of like not rushing, I think that's, you take the time to evaluate. But I do think that, at least in my experience, when there has been a red flag, like the red flag in the situationship, is sort of that just prolonged ambiguity. You don't know what you want.
Yeah.
You think you want to be here, but you're not sure.
Yeah.
And it just goes on and on and on and on. And after a while, it's like, okay, I don't think anybody's that confused for that.
If for that long, that's me. That's
so
what I
like,
think. Yes, so that's definitely, like I said.
I, and that's the other thing too, is, sorry, the other part of that is the communication. Because I do feel like it is better for you and I to be able to have an awkward conversation about your feelings, where your head's at, and you saying like, you know what, I value you. I do want you to be in my life. Here is where I'm at. Because then I feel like you're genuinely trying to give the other person an opportunity to meet you where you're at. Exactly. And I feel like that's different than just avoiding the conversation. Exactly. Together. So maybe I would say avoidance. Probably I should have titled that avoidance. Is
a good one.
Yeah.
But you want me to be honest? I feel like we both avoid things. I'm not gonna lie. I have to give my own self a red flag. And he pointed it out to me honestly. He said, "You know what? You don't like to have hard conversations." And he's not lying. I hate it. I don't want to put on my big girl panties and talk about nothing because see that this is why we make the perfect team because I am so serious. Because I'm so like I'd rather laugh. I'm such a laughing person. It's like, let's laugh and get over this. He had to tell me everything is not funny. Right now, this is something that we need to talk about. And don't get me wrong, sometimes I'm the one that wants to have that hard conversation, but I don't like when the hard conversations are about me. That's the problem. When he's pointing out the shit about me, I don't like it at all. And he knows it. And it's like, when he pointed that out, I'm like, he's absolutely correct. But then I had to say sometimes he likes to avoid stuff as well. And so that is something that what I love about us. This is why I know like one day this man is going to be my husband. I don't know when it's going to be. I'm claiming it. This man is one day going to be my husband because we found out that, I can't really handle this all the time. I'm not going to lie to you. I can't handle that because I'm so used to having things my way. And I'm a main character type of girl. I don't give side chick. I don't give side friend. I don't give any of that. And I kind of think that that was like another like red flag for me. It was like at first it was kind of I'm done with this situation. Then it was a kind of mm, I can't leave right now because of the kids. Like it's kind of like it was what do I want to it's the inconsistency. That was another the inconsistency because it's like at first you were so had me thinking like, oh, this is completely done. I know for a fact that I've been around to see certain things to know like, oh, that's over with. It's done and over with. And then it's like I don't kind of know, if it's really done. And I kind of think that inconsistency to me, he'll tell you it's been a few times they literally pushed me over the edge because it's just kind of like you can't play with somebody like me. And one thing about it, I'm a very goofy person, but when it comes to me, oh, I get serious really, really quick. And it's like, no, you can't sit up there and play in my face because like I have to remind him and I'll remind anyone. I know I'm a great woman. I give it all. I give best friend, business partner, wife, great mom, good cook. We're the type we're going to have a great time. And I still have exes right now from 15, 20 years ago. Still, oh, you don't want to give me another chance? Hell no. Like it would never happen again. I don't double back on an ex. Like that's why I say if you got me while I'm delusional and I'm all for you, you better work your ass off to keep me there because you never get that sweet version. You never just get me back, period. Once I'm gone mentally, I'm gone. It's just once I'm gone mentally, the body just hasn't followed yet. But trust and believe the body will soon follow suit with what my mind and what my heart feels because if it's not literally serving me any purpose, if it's not serving me any purpose on the inside, because I'm going to get into that now as well. Why am I staying? Why am I staying and there already have been so many red flags? And one of the biggest things, I'm not going to say it's the biggest, but he's so great to me financially. I mean, my situation with my car and stuff. Like this man I don't really have any worries. I cannot lie and say I have any major worries. And I don't even abuse that. He'll tell you, I don't call like, oh, I need this, I need that. I still go to work every day, even though I hate going to work and he knows it because he knows I don't want no man that wants me working too hard. So he knows how I feel about that. But I feel like financially, I think that's why I have stayed around to see.
But I also think it's not just because, like you said, like you have no problem being self-sufficient, right? I think it's also the fact that you guys have said to each other, you see a future with each other, you see long-term commitment. So it's that hope of what comes next. And I do think that to that point, that is a big reason why people stay in situationships. I know for me that when I have found myself in a situationship, that was kind of where my head was at, was giving it time.
Yeah.
Giving it time and space to breathe and to see what develops. And as far as like what you're getting from it, I mean, there is a certain level of like emotional validation that this person cares for me and that I have someone, and maybe even a little bit of familiarity, right? Like not wanting to have to start over again.
Yes, that's the thing. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And I think we're really compatible. Like even my other friends, like who have gotten to meet him as well, they're like, I'm not gonna lie, you two together are you just everything. Like he really does. Like he makes me laugh. He validates everything about me. Like I can't even lie about that. Like he's such a motivating like factor in my life. Like when I'm feeling down or anything, like he has such good energy that it's like you can't help but to feel better because he's not gonna let me stay in that place. And I love, and that's the thing. Like even though there have been red flags, I feel like the green flags with him have outweighed the red flags because he still makes me feel so secure. Like now don't get me wrong, and I think that's the difference. Feeling secure versus feeling safe are two different things because he definitely makes me feel secure about a lot of things, but because of the inconsistency and the red flag, sometimes I don't feel safe. And I express that to him, and he agrees and he wishes that, things were a little different, but that's what we go back to the timing. That is how a lot of situationships are starting and why people also stay, because I do have that hope that it's gonna change. It's gonna get better. Sometimes the timing is just off, and it's like, do you want to give up on this person? That is a good, valid point, though. Are the red flags sometimes enough to make a person leave, or do you want people to work through those red flags? Because honestly, red flags are sometimes just flaws, and I feel like we all have flaws.
None of us is perfect.
Yes, we all have flaws. So even though, yes, I know we love to point out the red flags, and I don't mind pointing out my own red flags. I know that I am the type of person that I demand a lot from a person. I'm not going to say I'm clingy because I'm really not. I'm the type going about your business, but I'm the type that I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you on my way to work, and that's with me and him. We call it a Wawa date. Like we'll see each other at Wawa every morning before we go to work, or we might catch each other on the break. Like those little things to me, the small things, is what makes me feel the security with him because it's like it's like clockwork. Like I'm used to this pattern that we have. This is our thing. It doesn't matter what it looks like to someone else. This is what we're doing and what makes us feel like, okay, this is a part of what we have going on. There's things that I look forward to. So that's something else on why I'm staying is because I kind of feel like I'm not going to have that rapport with someone else. I'm not going to have that same that same feeling. Like, it's just with us. I feel like a lot of people say they connect with someone on a soul level, but I feel like until you really feel that, I think most people are just making that up because you can't connect with everyone on a soul level. And to let some of these people tell it every person they were with, they connected with them on a soul level. And that's just BS because when you really do connect with someone on a soul level, even when you're upset, even when you guys are disagreeing, even when they have things going on, you're still connected to that person. And I feel like that's where I am with him. And I love that about us, but I also hate that about us because those soul ties can really, it can be a lot. It can.
Do you think that you would never be able to develop that sort of connection with someone else again?
I mean, the reason why I say no, because it's like a different feeling.
Yeah, I mean, you're never going to get the same exact feelings because it's different people. But I just mean in the sense of like, I am so deeply connected to this person beyond romance, beyond friendship. You know what I mean? Is that something that occurs one time in your life?
I don't think that's something that occurs one time. I think that it's different levels of that.
Sure.
I feel like this one has been the most insightful and enlightening. Let's just put it like this. Okay, one instance, because like I said, I was losing my shit, girl, because I'm like, no, this is not working for me, and you're gonna do it my way. Like, I'm tired of this.
Right.
And I feel like it was like a reminder to me that first of all, slow down, and just take a breath. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to, first of all, ruin something that really does have potential based off of your temporary or current just feelings right now. Especially I feel like the fact that I signed up for this and by me flipping out, he's never called me out my name. And I think that's one thing that's so big to me. He's never called me out my name. And we decided to have like a safe word. And I have never in any relationship that I've been in had someone that says, we're going to have a safe word.
Where's my green flag?
Yes, we need a green flag. We have a safe word. And I love that because we both decided like we don't want to say anything that's too ugly to the other person to where now we can't come back. So because I flipped out so bad, I mean it was bad. I showed my ass. I can't even lie. I showed my ass. And looking back, maybe I did a little too much. I don't know. Maybe I did. I'm sorry. But me having someone that we can say, let's have a safe word because we don't want to get to that part with each other. We actually care about each other. So why are we saying things that right now we really don't even mean? Out of anger. So to avoid that, and it's so funny because the other day the conversation was about to start taking a turn and he said our safe word and it was kind of like, okay, so let's talk about something else because we can't agree to have a safe word and we don't know how to turn it off because that was the point of it. So I feel like this is the most mature relationship, situationship, whatever you want to call it, that I have ever been in.
Relationship.
Yes, that's what it is. This is literally the most mature. Like I say, he doesn't even like to raise his voice. So that's how I know if he raises his voice at me, he is really, and not even to say he's upset. He's just feeling this right now. And he's told me he's not used to certain things. There's certain things that I require and ask of him that people that they haven't required that. So it's kind of hard for him to get with my program because he's never had to do that. And he's one of those ego driven like king mentality, and I love that he's a man's man. Like I absolutely love that for him. And I'm okay with being submissive. I'm okay with falling back and letting my man take the lead, especially when I see he's a leader, when I see he's a provider, when I see all of that. I have no problems with it. And so that's why I feel like, yes, this has been one of the best on that aspect. It's so mature. It's so mature. And I think that that's what I needed because I've always been the person that is the most mature one in the relationship. Not saying that my other partners have just been immature, but when it comes to handling things, I've always been much more mature with how I handle things. So now I have someone that's a little bit more mature than me, and he called me on. He's like, "You're acting real childish and petty right now," and I was like, but you know what? I had to own that because I was acting like a 2-year-old having a tantrum. Couldn't control my feelings. And for him to call me out on it, I needed that because, and he did it in a respectful way. He didn't say it like to try to hurt my feelings. He just called out the behavior. And what he called out was what he saw, and it was honestly true. And not to say he took accountability. I know why you're acting like this. I know what I'm doing on my end, and it's causing you. So it's not like he faulted me. We could have both decided to walk away right there after this incident. We could have both said, you know what, you can't handle this, I can't handle this, so let's go. But we both said, no, I want this to work. Like I want to put in the work for it, even the ugly days, the days where it's no clarity, the days where maybe the communication is a little off. I still want this. And so that's what makes me feel like, yeah, I know I can always find somebody else. I mean, I got people right now that they just waiting on their turn. And that's why I love, I don't rub it in his face, but I do like to remind him that, listen, it's nothing for me to just respond back to a couple of, text messages or DMs, and I could probably be in a relationship next week. But would it be of quality? Would it be of substance? Would it give me this same feeling? No. Like, I already know now, I'm the type of person that I don't want to have to call. If I'm having a shitty day, I don't want to call 5 different men. This is what happened. I want to call my man. I want to make that one phone call, and I know for a fact that he is going to give me some type of resolution, some type of encouragement. And not every man can do that. And with him, honestly, if he is not super busy, because he owns his own business. So if he's not super busy, and sometimes even if he is super busy, if he knows I need it, he's going to take that time to talk to me and to build me back up. And I just feel like I'm not going to always get that. Things like that don't come around too often. And so I think that that's another one of the reasons that I've stayed. Like, yes, we spoke about finances, but you're absolutely right. It's so much more than just finances. He's just made my life easier. But the other aspects on what he's doing, it totally outweighs the financial aspect of anything with us.
Yeah. I mean, I think that makes sense. And because you did bring up a lot of I think the biggest green flag, right, is the emotional maturity and being able to navigate difficult communication without it turning into name calling or anything disrespectful, right? Like those are the things that you would want in a long-term partner. So I definitely understand where you kind of go, I'm weighing these things out and I'm saying, okay, even though this is not defined in this moment, is there an opportunity for it to be defined in the future where I could be happy with the way things are?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's honestly, I mean, I feel like that's why people stay, right?
Yeah.
I think about like a situationship that I was in for about a year, and eventually it did turn into a relationship. Was it the best relationship? No. Right? No. But eventually it did. And the reason why it was able to do so is for that same reason. I kept going. Here are all the, I weighed the pros and cons. There's a certain level of compatibility between us. This is my emotional support person. You know what I mean?
I hate using that term. I mean, that's what it is.
There was just a lot going on in my life.
Yes.
He was probably one of the only people I could talk to. And vice versa.
Yeah.
Right? Like we supported each other emotionally through a lot of things. And the funny thing is, the only reason it even turned into a relationship is because of someone else trying to get into the picture. And, it's kind of funny because it's like slightly toxic, but I do kind of relish in that moment of being able to be like, but you're not my man though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they don't want to hear it. They want to throw it out, but they don't want to hear it. And like I remember the night vividly. And like his car had like broke down or something, and he's calling me to come get him. And he's like, or can I come over there? And I had to be like, no.
Yeah.
No, you cannot.
Yep.
And he's, well, why can't I come over there? You're not my man.
And they don't like to hear that.
I am not obligated to give you that information.
Exactly.
Now, obviously, you put two and two together. Yeah. Now, ask me, did I go pick him up?
Yes,
I did. I did.
I already knew that.
And the other guy was like, where the hell you going? It's 4 o'clock in the morning.
My man is calling. My man is calling. Sorry, I gotta go.
I gotta go. My friend's car broke down. I'm sorry. I have to go get them. I don't want them to be stuck in the rain. I
love that for you.
I promise I'll be back in a couple hours. And you know what's crazy? Nothing was going on. We didn't even do nothing. Yeah. He was just there.
Yeah.
But
I love that for you. Just saying.
When I say not even a week and a half later, this man was like, so I've been thinking about everything, and I feel like you and we've been rocking, and and I just feel like I feel like we should go ahead and try. Be my girlfriend.
That's how it goes.
I was like, oh,
because they're feeling threatened now.
Yeah, is that what I need to do every time? Just introduce.
And that's what I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of like why I threw that out there about I went on a date. Just to see, and I'm not gonna lie.
That was so stressful for me.
You are so funny.
I was so stressed out because I'm sorry. It's a really funny story because literally, like, I'm laying next to this man. This man is fine as hell. So even though I really wanted to, in my mind, I was like, no, you can't, right? And then I ignored the first phone call because I saw the phone ringing and I was like, nope, not answering. And then the phone kept ringing and kept ringing. And then I was like, oh, shit.
It's something.
Yeah. I was like, all right, what if it's an emergency?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's 3 a.m. I answer the phone. This man next to me is like, who's the hell
is that?
And then I feel like I could feel, because I feel like this was before the technology was good enough. They could hear the voice coming through the phone, even though it wasn't on speaker. They can hear the voice. So I'm like, I know he heard a male voice. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, I gotta go get my friend.
Yeah.
So stressful. The other man he did not speak to me for a very long time.
I was going to ask, so did he stay? What happened? Or were you at his place or he was at your place?
He was at my place.
So when you left,
I left to go pick up the main boo. Mm-hmm. I picked him up and he was like, "Can you wait with me until," I forget if it was like the car got towed or something, mm-hmm, for the morning, right? Uh-huh. And of course, that was a ploy because I stayed. We had sex. And then he was like, "Do you want some breakfast?" And I'm like,
"Well, yes, I do.
Hell yeah, I want some breakfast. What you mean? This is like the combination of all of my favorite things. Yes. Sexy time and food.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not gonna say no to either, especially from your person. You know what I mean? So anyway, I want to say a couple hours later, my roommate calls me, mm-hmm, and she was like, "Girl, this man dropped your key off and left."
Oh my gosh. Yes. I mean, well, in that situation, what you expect. I mean,
but I want to point out, mm-hmm, that the other guy, mm-hmm, is a man, mm-hmm, who I was kind of in a situationship before I met Main Boo. Oh. He had an opportunity.
And like you said,
he had an opportunity to capitalize when I was interested, and I was all about him, and I was doing the most and being sweet and all that stuff.
They lost it and they realized it.
Yeah, and then he was all like, "Oh, I don't know."
And that's why you felt comfortable enough to go get Main Boo, because guess what?
We not together. Hello. I met Main Boo, and then it was like, who the hell is this other man? I don't know who you are, right?
Like, but I think that's obviously that's healthy, and that's where I kind of am. Like, so don't get me wrong. Like I said, me and my man love him to death, but I also know my worth, and I tell him that, and he will tell me, I know I don't deserve you, and I love hearing a man say they know they don't deserve me. Like, I love hearing that, because guess what? Now, see, I think it's a green flag, because yes, you don't deserve me, so when I'm gone, you already knew why you lost me in the first place, because you told yourself that you don't. I didn't have to tell you that.
I just feel like it's a cop out, because step
up, exactly. Be the person that deserves me then. Like, you get what I'm saying? But that's why. Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, and I told him that too. Like, it definitely is, so it is what it is. But like, I also have to remind him, like, there have been some times to where I feel like I've kind of been, not going to say just in that situation, but it's been some times where, okay, yeah, now my man is calling. I gotta go. Because at the end of the day, this is mine over here.
I forgot to throw in a caveat, because I want these people thinking about me crazy. That was a very long time.
Disclaimer.
I was in my early 20s when that happened. I'm going to be 37 this year, so I just want to throw that out.
No more hot girl activities. I didn't say all of that either. I don't know. I might be jumping the gun too far with that one. We didn't say.
I did not say that. I said I will try not to put myself in no more love triangles. That's what
she's. Oh, okay. Yeah. So no more love triangles. So maybe also that is a part of what a situation is. I think that some situationships are love triangles. Yep. Like, I wholeheartily agree with that, and so I think that's what I don't like. I don't like the triangle, because it's just kind of like, at some point,
I'm not your side.
For one, I'm not. I don't give side chick, and that was like my main thing. I'm main character. I'm the type. That's why so many girls didn't like me, because it's like, I'm the type that, for some reason, the man sees me, and even if they do have someone, I always kind of get what I want, and most of the time, I don't know if these men have these women. I mean, a lot of women have to understand that too. You do have some men that they actually meet someone and it sucks, but they are willing to leave what they have because it hasn't been good already. Now they met this great person, and it's kind of like, yeah, I'm rocking with this person now. I don't want to talk to you anymore. And you have those women who they're so stuck on, oh, it's your fault. It's your fault. And in reality, it's not my fault. It's whatever you guys had going on, and it just so happened I came in. It's really your man's fault, because guess what? He could have made the decision to say, I am going to not entertain another person until I figure out what I want with you. Yeah. But a lot of times it is easier for them to, they don't, they make it messy. And that's why I say men are more messier than women. I don't care what they say. Men are messy. Messy boots. They messy boots. And so, and I don't think they really realize that. And like I say, this is where it comes in to me, where I am such a gracious queen, because it's like, I get it, because I feel like I've been there sometimes before where I just couldn't make my mind up, didn't know what I wanted.
I think you and I have that in common too. Like, we try not to, like, we see men are human. They are human, right? So you humanize a lot of the things that they go through. Yeah. And also sometimes does it lead to bad behavior? Yeah. And it's just a matter of like we were talking about earlier with the boundaries. Like, all right, don't bring that over here.
Yeah.
But I think that's part of it is you understand what it is to just be human and have feelings. And feelings are not linear. They're not clean.
Exactly.
They're not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It more so comes down to your actions.
Yep.
What do you do about it?
See, and that's what I have been more so talking about. Because like I say, the same thing we're talking about here right now, I'm very clear with how I feel about stuff.
Yeah.
I am clear about my expectations.
Yeah.
And that is the one thing that makes me and him butt heads, because I don't care. I'm going to keep saying it until I see a change. And if I don't see a change, then I'm going to exit stage left, you know? Because like I say, to me, clarity and communication is everything. Just be honest with me. You know, if you don't feel like you ever want to live that situation, let me know so I can make my decision and say, okay, this is something that he wants. Maybe because some people, they do want to try to introduce that poly side. And this is my thing. You know how I feel about this. She's not a poly girl. I more so could be a poly girl, but
please spare me.
But it can't be to where I'm coming in to something that's already been established for years. That's not poly to me. Like, and I get some people, they're together, then they decide to bring in the woman, but I'm a territorial type person. So it's like I can't come into a situation and then I have someone who she feels like she's been there 10 years already. So she's already feeling like she's
isn't inherently that's what poly is?
I mean, right? I thought poly was when we decide to do this together. That's my definition of
we
poly.
have all built this.
We all built this together. I can't come into something that you guys have been together 10 years. Yeah. And now I'm coming in and it's like, oh, now I'm the entertainment. I'm no one's entertainment. Like, that's how I look at that. So to me, it would never work with me unless you guys were already poly, and maybe the last one didn't work out, and but if you've never done it before, don't use me as the damn scapegoat and the clown. This is not the circus. You're not gonna dangle it and try it with me.
I don't want to be your guinea pig.
I don't want to be the guinea pig for your poly relationship, sir. I don't want to be the guinea pig.
So do you feel like you would be
We've talked about this, and I'm just gonna be honest. Maybe if he had another person in his life, it could have been, but I like certain things, and it's just, it would be a no for me with.
Okay.
And I mean, maybe I shouldn't be so tough. Maybe I should. No, I'm lying. It's a hell no for me. It would never, hell no. It's a hell no.
You could be as tough as
with
you want.
The person that he's like, who he's currently, whatever you want to say, then yeah, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't. But would I be open to it? Hell yeah. Like if me and him decided, like, because I like girls. I think that they're so beautiful. I have no problem with dating a girl.
So you feel okay, so like you in that situation, you would be okay with like both of y'all having
I definitely would. Okay. Because I feel like it's like that balance. And me and my friends know I'm very open about talking about it.
Yeah.
I think it's a balance. For one, sometimes men get on my nerves. Like, you get what I'm saying? And I love how we're sitting here having a good girl talk. Like, I would love to be sitting there with my girlfriend as well. And maybe we're talking about his ass today. Like, girl, I'm so tired of him, but that's still our man. And we can do that.
Yeah.
I feel like it would take the responsibility off just me in the household, now it's two of us.
Sure.
We're sharing responsibilities with cooking. We're taking the kids. We have a schedule.
Yeah.
I just kind of see that because I feel like this. Realistically, I don't think that I could only see myself just being with one person for the rest of my life, like sexually, definitely. Now, maybe being a life partner, like, oh, this is my person forever. We're locked in. Mm-hmm. But exploring that sexuality of things, I don't think I would only just have sex with one person. I literally don't. So to me, I don't want to have sex with multiple men. Like, it's cool. And not to mention, I think about my partner. I'm not going to have a threesome with two men. You get what I'm saying? To me, that's just... I mean, some people look at it as a threesome, but it could be fun. I'm not against it, but I'm saying with my man, he's not going to be into that. Sure. With me, I already know I like women. He likes women, so I feel like I would definitely be open to poly just because, like I say, you just never know until you try it. And I feel like if you have a man too, like I know my man, he talks a lot to me because it's me. This is something he's opened up doing. Like you said, he's never been the type that's calling throughout the day, talking on lunch breaks. He's not really that type of person, but because I have kind of required that, he's opened up to it a little bit more. It's a compromise because he cares about me. He knows how strongly I feel about communication, so he's willing to change a little bit of him to fit my needs. And
Right.
I actually, that's another thing that was like a green flag. Like, you know, this is someone that's telling me I don't usually do this. You know, I'm not this type of person, but because you care so much about it and because I care so much about you, I'm willing to try it. But it's also like he still doesn't give that full, like, I love talking. I do. I love to sit and have me a good conversation. Definitely, we got us some wine, some food. I love me a good convo.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what that lady would be there for. You know,
Yeah.
like we have our own, you know, vibe apart from him. And then when he comes, like we're loving on our man. I'm not a jealous person. Like I say, territorial. Like if this is my man, don't come over here playing about my man. Now, I don't care about my man looking like, because some women are jealous. They see, oh, I saw you looking at her. Oh, did you look at her butt? Like, hell, I'm probably looking at her ass too. Like, you know, like that's the type of relationship that I like, you know. So it's I'm a territorial person, so I don't think I would have a problem with being in a poly, but like I stated, it has to be to where this is something we're doing together, not something that you guys have established a whole damn lifeline before I got here. Now I'm the little guinea pig coming in to try it out. Like, miss me with that. Like, let's build this together.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that makes sense. I feel like I can't say that I would be open to it. I for me, it could be, I just feel it could get inherently messy. But I do think that you are seeing a lot more couples kind of follow non-traditional dynamics. And to your point, would it be great to have help in the house all the time? Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
But I think, I don't know, maybe I can't say, to be clear, I can't say that I would be open to it, but I understand how that dynamic could be attractive and why there are more people exploring it. You know what I mean?
I follow a lot of poly pages, and that's what made me even start, like, because I always kind of felt like that, like, you know, like I like men and women, so I feel like, you know, why not? But it's very much so harder for women to get on board with it. So that's another thing for me on why I'm not with coming into someone's relationship and we want to try poly, because for one, I look at it like this: a woman that's been with someone for years, and I feel like that you're willing all of a sudden now to accept poly, is because you see you're about to lose this man, so you're pulling out all the stops to keep him from leaving. So to me, you're not really open to poly. You're doing it because this is your last chance. Like, I don't want him, and he's telling me he's open to, he's already dating someone else, you know, low key, he's telling you, and you're like, okay, well, let's just try. You're not gonna really like me, because you're doing this strictly because you want to keep your man, and you're not doing it because you want this to work, and because I'm gonna look at us like we're a family. Like, this is my family, our kids are integrated. This is what it is. Because to me, I don't care how people feel about me. You don't pay my bills. You know, I don't even talk to some of these people in real life. So why in the hell would I care what you think about my relationship? If it works for me, it's for me. And so that's why I don't mind being open, but it just would never work on my end coming into someone's already relationship, because I just feel like I said, it's like a last ditch effort. Because if you really were poly, you would have already done this before.
And you know what, that I feel like that makes a lot of sense, because I was trying to figure out, I'm like, I'm not judging it, but I know it's not for me, and I realize it's because I love women. I think women are gorgeous. They're beautiful. I've never been attracted to one. You know, I don't know that I like women, so I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, not romantically.
No, I get that. No, I know what you're saying. I have a cousin and me, because we're in a group, so we're the three brothers kids, and so it's two girls and my boy cousin. My girl, like, me and my boy cousin, we're all like, oh, threesomes, this, like, you know, like, we think that type of stuff is fun. My girl cousin, like, a bitch better not come in my face with that. Like, I'm not with that. She's so big on, she's not with the bullshit at all. Like, and I think it's so funny.
Your cousin and I would get along.
Exactly, because and she's a Libra. I kid you not. So you guys, like, my man is a Libra. You know, I told you that. So it's like, it's so crazy. I'm surrounded by Libras, but yeah, she's not with the bullshit at all. Like, and she doesn't mind telling you. And like, to me, I love girls. Like, I'm the type, when I'm out, I'm slapping asses. I got girls bending over on me. Like, I mean,
I feel like
you can do that part. But you're not having a girl. She's not coming to put her stuff in your face. You're not
gonna kiss you. No, I'm sorry, I don't want to kiss you. I may want to touch your butt because it looks nice. But that's where it stops and starts, my friend.
And see, to me, that's not even half of. I'm such a wild girl. Like, I'm honestly, I think that. I mean, I don't want to say it like that because then it might make him think crazy. But honestly, you're more so. I think I would turn up more with the female and cheat on my. I don't even want to say cheat, but I think I would. You maybe need to watch me
You
more
would have
around
more fun.
girl. I would have more fun with the girl than I would worry
Right.
about sneaking off to
Right.
have fun with the guy. Because girls just kind of like they just get it. So that's why I said like to me, I'm with the poly, but it has to be the right poly, because I don't ever want to come in and she's thinking she's the main chick, and on the back end I know he barely want to be with you anymore, girl. He just trying to do this because he's trying to save face, trying to be there for the kids. Like, and in your mind you're thinking like, oh, I run this, and it's like in reality, little do you know, like, you're not the main baby. Like, you this is your last ditch effort, and if this doesn't go right, he's gone. So it's just kind of like I don't want to come into that. So if it's not something we're actually building together, then no, I don't want it, because then you're just in another situationship with another person now. It's not, and that I don't want that. It has to be a relationship.
Taking it right back around.
Okay, so pretty much to wrap up this amazing episode, honestly, this has probably been one of my favorites because it's been something that I'm dealing with currently. So I feel like to kind of wrap it up, you know, I don't think that I ever want to just be in a situationship again. Of course, you don't pick it, you don't plan it, so you can't say what you won't do. But I do know that I don't want to overstay somewhere that there will be no end goal that we both can agree on. I'll put it that way, because we both have an end goal. And that's what also I think leads into that honesty. He also has to be very honest with me, because that's going to help to shape how I'm going to deal with this situationship. Because it's like, how long do you stay? And with me, I do have to have that accountability that now I'm very aware of what the situation is. So it's up to me on, am I going to stay and am I going to fight for this? Or am I going to say, you know what, how much more time are you going to put into this? Because you're also holding up the line for other people. And I hate to just put it that way, but it's true. And I tell him that you might be making me miss my husband for real out here, because I'm thinking you're my husband. And because sometimes, hey, I'm not always right. This could just be another lesson that I may have to learn, but the good thing is, I feel like after that big blow up, it helped me to realize that I am too emotionally invested in someone that's also invested in another person. I'm not even saying they're more invested in this person. I feel like I'm not going to say we just spent so much time together, but we spent a lot of time together. We talk a lot. So I know that the care is there. But like I said, what I know I require and what I'm demanding and what I really want, because yeah, it doesn't have to be traditional, but I want my own person or my own people. I don't want to have to deal with, you can't talk to me all the time, or we have to make certain plans, and then those plans come around and they might got to get changed really quick because this just came up at the house. I don't want to deal with that anymore, because it's like I don't have to. I am literally single, free and open, as much as
Are you single?
Yeah, I don't think so, girl. I don't think I'm single. I think I'm lying to myself and y'all. I think I got a man, y'all, and that man don't play about me, and I don't play about that man either. So
basically, you're not in a situation.
I'm really
in a relationship without a title.
I'm in a relationship without a real title, and so if y'all see us riding around, tell me how good we look together, because that is my man. Y'all see us out. Some of y'all have, just tell me if we look good together, because that's my man. And to circle back, yeah, I did get the tattoo. I got the tattoo.
I'm screaming.
I definitely got the tattoo, but I did it like kind of more of an acronym.
Okay.
So it's like if you saw it, you would just think that it kind of stands for something, because I put like a heart in it as well, like to replace one of the letters.
Okay.
So it's like you would just kind of say, oh, like, she has a cute little tattoo. So yeah, but definitely got the tattoo. That's why I say when they be sharing them posts, like I went and tattoo a man name, I skip on by it, because baby, I don't mind. I'll get it 5 more times if you ask me to.
Not you dropping the bomb at the end of the episode.
Boom! Well, that's probably a red flag right there. But y'all know I don't mind admitting my own faults sometimes. sometimes, and it's fun. I mean, why not? And it's something that can get covered, you know.
This is true. This is
Something
true.
that can get covered, and not to mention my man loves it, you know. So
I'm sure he does.
he absolutely, positively loves it, you know. So
you mean your husband? Oh
yeah,
God.
he is my husband. He really is my husband. We just got to get our shit together.
Really?
That's it. That's it. But this was a really fun episode.
Yes, absolutely.
The next episode, we've already talked about it, and I think that the next episode, we can just let them know we're going to discuss poly relationships. So I think that this is where we want to hear from you guys.
Yeah.
Because I ask people a lot before the shows. I always say, hey, what do you think about this? Or how do you feel about this? With this one, I really want to hear how you guys feel about poly relationships. Would you be in one? Have you been in one? Are there rules that you make up front? You know, is it something that you want to build with someone together, or is it something that you're willing to come into?
Yeah. Definitely, hit us up on our respective Instagrams or on our Red Flags Anonymous Pod Instagram and let us know. And we look forward to hearing from you guys and seeing you for the next episode.
Yes, it's been a while, so we can't go that long.
No.
Been life shit going on. But we're here, and that's the one thing. And I'm not gonna lie, I would love for next week if we could maybe do like a call in from someone. Like, I don't know how we can kind of figure that out, because I do want to start. That'll be our 4th episode, so I would like to integrate just a little something different.
Yeah, or if even if people like
write-ins are good too. We can read them. I think that would probably be even better.
Yeah,
to read them. So yes, I definitely would love for people to write in. So yes, thank you guys for tuning in once again. I'm Ivy, your Delulu queen,
and I'm Kris, your serial optimist.
And it's been real. We'll catch you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.